G'day guys, hope everyone's okay out there. Just a really quick video to highlight the story, big story today. Facebook bans news. Okay, what's that all about? What's that really all about? And how is that tied in with the overall picture? Now essentially, this is something that Facebook have referred to the Australian government's new laws that are coming in, which is the code of conduct for our digital networks such as Facebook and Google. Now they have pretty much said that, so Mr. Frydenberg, Josh Frydenberg, has put a statement out. He's our treasurer. Josh Frydenberg has come out and he's basically said we're trying to create an even playing field with these new laws for media companies, and to allow media companies to be compensated appropriately for original content. And that sounds good on the surface of things. It sounds fair and reasonable. Now if you take a deeper look at it, now this is what Facebook is saying has forced them into banning news, because they feel that theirs is quite different. Now Google have struck a deal already with quite a few news networks. I was just reading with Channel 9, they've struck a $30 million a year deal with Channel 9. So just to talk about the implications of that for Google working with the news networks, essentially Google can pick and choose now and basically say, this news network is deemed worthy, we will strike a deal and we will make a payment to them. So this is what the legislation is requiring, that these social media or these tech giants provide compensation for any news articles that they display. And that sounds good again, but again what it means is they will be able to pick and choose now. So if you look at the internet, it was a massive game changer for independent news networks, people out there who wanted to come out with truth, and those are the only companies still providing some kind of true information news, and the internet allowed them to do that by being able to be online without massive overheads such as newspaper printing facilities, TV studios. So they were able to still get the information out en masse to people. But this is going to change, and that's what's the result of this. Okay, these new laws mean Google decides 9 or 7 is deemed worthy to sign a deal and pay them money for their content. It means Google can also decide, okay, XYZ independent news network, we don't deem them as appropriate to sign a deal and pay them, so therefore their content is not going to show. Okay, so that's what this is about. You really got to read between the lines. That's the result, and I find it hard to believe that anybody in policy who's making policy can't have seen that consequence. Okay, that's the consequence. So I find it hard to believe that it isn't part of their overall strategy, and I find it hard to then believe that their overall strategy isn't control of information and censorship, because that's the end result. Okay, the end result is it will be limiting what news appears on Google, and Google will choose based on who they pay. So that's really important to note that. Now when it comes to Facebook, I think Facebook's a bit different to Google because of the way posting and sharing of posts works. They don't have probably the right algorithms in place yet where they can sign a deal with someone and make sure only their news is being shared and posted, etc. And how do they track all of that? So I think, in my opinion, it's a bit of a fake fight going on right now, and I'm pretty sure Facebook will come around eventually and start signing the deals. But again, it'll create that monopoly. What Facebook will probably be doing in the meantime is they can't do it yet until they work out the right algorithms that can pick up, okay, this is the news network that we have signed an agreement with, and this is not one that we've signed an agreement with every time there's a post. So that's a big job for their software people, and I think they'll be working on that once they can get that algorithm right, because like I said, they've got to be able to differentiate a post share for XYZ news versus maybe Channel 9 or whatever it is. And I think once they get that, they will back off and they will start signing the deals. So really what these deals are about is creating a monopoly, and saying this is okay news, this is not okay news. So really look between the, read between the lines, think outside the box, start looking ahead, and get real. Now this is not surprising for me or for anyone in our group. We looked at this stuff. For me, last year, censorship was increasing. So the one thing I started thinking of straight away is how they're going to control the information on the internet. Here's the answer. Okay, so not surprised at all, expecting this. So this is why we are doing everything quite differently. We have a marketing plan as part of our overall action plan, and that marketing plan does involve using social media, but it also involves other things. So we're not fully relying on social media to get that marketing campaigns out there. So again, I'm going to urge everyone, please come on board, come to our video conference and ask some questions if you like. Otherwise, we've got a lot of information already on our MeWe group page and also our Facebook page. Okay guys, now another thing to really be aware of is the main goal for them is controlling information. I'm going to say it's a goal, that's my opinion, but it's happening. Okay, information is being more and more and more controlled. So what it also means is they can control how they portray certain things and certain events. I was just having a look at a video on Channel 9 on the internet about the protesters in Coburg last week, or was it this week, earlier this week. And you know, I've seen some of the real videos getting around, and you can see they're getting around on social media, and you can see what really happened in that video. And obviously mainstream media, they twist the story according to the narrative that they want to deliver, and that's something to really understand, is that they're going to pick up on that. They're chopping video footage, they're zooming in on certain areas, certain video footage they'll hold out, and then they'll add in their own, or the parts that they feel is in line with the narrative that they want to get out. So this is how they control it, and they have portrayed these protests and the protesters in a really dim light, very negatively. They've made them look like essentially out of control, violent thugs. They have basically made them appear to be people who are just fighting for absolutely nothing. They're just angry. This is how they've portrayed it. Like I said, they can choose the content. Someone could give the best speech ever, they won't put that on there. They'll instead show a footage of someone scuffling with a police officer. They won't show the police officer first coming over there and starting the scuffle. If that's how it went down, they will do it the other way. Okay, so it's just something to be aware of again, and we have incorporated this into our strategies. Okay, so you have to be aware that what you do out there is going to be portrayed whatever way they want it to be portrayed. Okay, we're not telling people not to do anything. We're telling people to do something smart. We're not telling people to do nothing. Okay, we're not telling people, but you've got to do it in a way that you can still control the information. Otherwise, you know, it's going to go. It's going to go in whatever way they choose it. It's going to go out portrayed in that way. So, just as a summary, you know, obviously not a good step. What's going on with the code of conduct laws, code of conduct for tech companies? The new laws coming in are going to create monopolized news. Okay, guys. So come on board. We're doing a video conference this Saturday again. Check out our MeWe page and Facebook. You can find us by searching Citizens of Freedom. Otherwise, the link is in the video here. So I hope everyone is well out there. Take care, guys, and chat with you soon.